Hey, this is Ivan and another video from the channel for men. If you're a guy, keep sticking with this channel. I hope that you're gonna learn a lot. And I do have experience. Let me start with the bragging. With the bragging for the beginning. I'm at the end of my 40s. So you can imagine that I have a lot of experience, random relationships, long-term relationships, good relationships, marriages, divorces, and all 9 yards. So here I am. I think I can bring a little bit of light in your relationship. So the topic of today's video is what the relationship takes away and what the relationship gives. So now here is this dualistic concept, but I'm sorry for the polarization, but in one side here on the left side is this, freedom of being yourself and being on your own. No girlfriend if you're a guy. If you're a girl, no guy, no boyfriend, no husband. If you're a guy, no girlfriend, no wife, no marriage, none of that stuff. So you go free. Focus your energy only on yourself, on your business, on your health, on your wealth, or whatever. On the other side is the family life, the girlfriend, the long-term relationship, or, like in the beginning of the relationship. So I've made a lot of videos, but now this video, it is about what you gotta give. We have this concept that you have to give something. You have to give something, but as well, the other party also has to give something. So at one point in my life I was in a relationship, and I woke up one day and the reality was that I promised prior to that waking up in the morning, I offered something to the other party, to the woman. So I woke up, but I woke up in a different mindset. I woke up like slightly unhappy about my life and slightly, agitated about what I'm gonna do for the day. So I'm saying, okay, I said, yes, I gotta go and do my stuff first. I always preach this in my channel. So I said to the other party, hey, listen, I'm gonna go do my stuff. I don't feel good. I don't feel very satisfied today of what I have done yesterday or the last week. So I say I'm gonna focus on myself. Yeah, little bit I aware that prior to that day, the previous night, I offered something, and I actually promised something to do a little thing. So my woman say, yeah, but you promised me something. And then I thought, yeah, that's right, I promised her something. That's something to go do some stuff together, and that's the whole reality. So now we have this formula in the men community that women always reserve the right to change their mind. But sometimes as men, we also changed our mind just like a woman. Sometimes we wake up, or we had a bad day, or we had a bad previous week. So at that point, because I had like a bad week all before, so I kind of changed my mind. So instead of being very balanced person and to follow what I have promised the previous day, I decided to change my mind and to go all the way on the left, or whatever, on the right, or whatever, the far. I decided to focus on myself. So now the woman confronted me. Yeah, but you did promise me that. So now when you hear this thing in a relationship, you have to first aware what you have promised, and if you are a man, should you stick with your promises? And one of the manly quality for a well-established man is not to be flip-flopping or doing like the girl style or the woman style. When you hear this if you tell your woman, for example, hey, we have this agenda today because you promised me this the last week or for the whole last 5-10 days we was discussing this thing. So now is the day you have to come up with what you have promised. Then we have the woman. She has the freedom to change her mind, and she can say, well, I don't feel like it today because it's always important word, because one of the most important words in our vocabulary, this is the word because. Always give this door to the mind to justify our action. So if the woman say, well, I don't feel doing it today because I just have period today, or because something else happened. Now, you understand what I'm talking about. When a woman say because and a man say because, there is a huge difference. And where I started with, you have to give something to the relationship. And also there is this concept in the relationship coaching and relationship dynamics that it's always something for something. In one hand, you can give away your freedom, and if you're a guy, you can give away this freedom of chasing girls, going to dates, having this adrenaline rush for the benefits of the other side, being in a steady, healthy, somewhat balanced relationship where you can get a lot of other hormones like oxytocin, being loved, being understood, being taken care of when you need. So now we have these two things, but the main concept is, as a man, what you have to give. We know there is no free lunch in the universe, as we already established this. There's always something for something. For example, I personally don't like to ask this question to my friends or to my woman or to my relationships in business. I don't like this question, hey, can you do me a favor? You know, I don't like other people to give me favors because I kind of feel guilty, because I know it was a favor, so now I have to return the favors. So in this case, I always go direct approach. If I need somebody to do something for me, I can just simply say, hey, listen, I need a driver for the day. You need to help me with this car or whatever it is, like a simple thing. I'll give you $100 or $50 or $150, no matter what. I try to be kind of fair with my offer, but I say, hey, listen, if you drive this car from here to here, I give you $150. So in this case, I don't have to put the person in a situation that I owe him favors, because you don't know. Maybe the person will ask you somewhere in the future, hey, do you remember that you asked me to drive your car or to help you with this furniture or to whatever it is, you know, like write a business plan for me. And then he may ask you for this favor right in the moment that you cannot give him the favor back. So now it is very important to understand all these concepts that I'm talking about. First, in the relationship, you always have to give something back. There's no free exchange of energy, masculine or feminine. The woman usually gives you the feminine energy. You give her the masculine energy, but it's a basically exchange of energy, chemistry, hormones, different state of mind. So now, as a man, it's very important to start awareing of these problems that may occur future in the relationship. How balanced you should be in your relationship, where you should say stop, no more, or this is a bad behavior if the woman misbehaves, or if you misbehave in your relationship and you catch yourself, you should say, hey, wait a minute, I'm giving too much or I'm receiving too much. These are very thin, there is a very thin line of being so-called synchronized, internalized, integrated, and calibrated in your relationship. So that is very important question for you to ask yourself as a man. What I have to give in this relationship? what I have to receive in the relationship. Is this relationship beneficial only for me, or if this relationship is getting too beneficial just for the woman? Am I the right player? Am I playing it right, or is she playing me right? There's very, very thin line between this thing. And most of the relationships are actually falling apart because this one of the areas it's going off balance. Sometimes men, as men, we are all focused on ourselves, to do jobs, to be good at career, because the society actually pushes us. We have to compete with other men. We have to compete with other men. That's like the status quo in this social matrix, call it the social fabric, the society. As one of these guys I was listening recently say, the society is this mechanism of enslaving people. Is it the good? One of the perspectives is to look at the society is not very well organized structure where people go to their jobs and they subconsciously create evil. Interesting concept, interesting concept. How you do that? Now, you know that you should be working for yourself only in the gig economy, or opening your own business if you are an entrepreneurial guy. But on the other hand, again, is this thing, oh, I gotta make the money, I gotta pay the rent, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that. So now you go and subscribe for the 9-to-5 job, the daily routine, but unconsciously, you're creating evil. That's what the guys say. You're unconsciously creating evil because you know this doesn't work for you. This works for the corporation, works for the whatever organization, and you don't know the intentions of these corporations. Are they looking for your best interest, or they're just temporarily using you? If you have been in any kind of employment for the last couple of years or for the last couple of months, you know this very, very well. There are very, very few companies that are looking for the interest of the people working in the company to their best possible extent. You know, like some companies are taking, you know, like taking shortcuts. They are abusing the employees, or they're not abusing the employees, but they are just, okay, neglecting the employees. Okay, whatever, we're gonna just replace this chump with another chump, and the business keeps spinning. You know, the important thing in the business is, of course, they would say it's how many widgets you can produce, how the production, your daily report, your weekly report, are you a good performer, and all these stuff. But now let's get back to the topic of this thing. A relationship, it's a very, how to say, it has to run like a very smooth operation, and not all the operations are working smooth. Why? Because most of the people in their lives, they are actually entering relationships either for the wrong reasons, either at the wrong age, either at the wrong circumstances. They are not planning too much this relationship, or if they are planning, they don't see the longevity, like a long-term. Now, yes, if you are going into a long-term relationship, in the beginning, it's a very good question to ask yourself how long this relationship should be. Is it like just a couple of weeks, 2 days, 3 months, 5 years, 50 years? This is a very important question. The question is, I will rephrase the question for you. If I'm going in a relationship with this person for the next 10 years, what I'm willing to give up and what I have to insist from this person to give up, her freedoms or his freedom. If you are a girl, if you are a guy, you should ask this question: what this woman is ready to give up? Is she ready to give up certain things? It's like the marriage, you know, the standard marriage, like, I mean, not the when the state got involved in the marriage, because that's completely different, wrong idea to have. I always said this: don't ever involve the state in your marriage. You know, if you marry someone, you might as well marry them privately. That's called private marriage, or marry them in the church. Look for the state law in your country. It's a bad idea to marry someone haphazardly, because you are actually saying in the marriage certificate or in the marriage agreement, you are saying, hey, I'm willing to give up this and this and this, half my money, half my reputation, half my status, half my whatever personality to that person. Now the good question is, if I'm ready to do that, is that person ready to do the same for me? Or this person is going to keep her or his status, relationships, prior arrangement with other people, and she or he will give you just 10% when you give 80%. So now, in a relationship, it's important to have this conversation with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend from time to time, just to check where are you at that current state. And you may say, well, I kind of feel like I no longer want to give you this, what I have promised in the past. Or she may say, well, this does not suit me anymore. If these questions start arising, I guess it's a time for you to I'm sorry to say it, but it's a time for you to start considering closing this relationship slowly, or boom, no more relationship. But the questions still remain. The very important question: what you are willing to give up, what are you ready to give up, and what is she or he ready to give up for this relationship. And I will throw another concept here. If you are cute enough, I mean, if you are well balanced, and if you are well synchronized, integrated and incorporated, and most importantly, if you are calibrated in this relationship game, now this question should never be on the table. That's my point. But you need the other party as well to be as well integrated, as well calibrated, as well incorporated in the relationship. So both parties should know, okay, if the relationship is game over, we are going to lose. Both sides are going to lose. Now, if we stick with the relationship, both sides have some future to win. It's a win-win situation in this case. But when you start asking these questions, well, I'm start giving up too much of my freedom, or I'm start giving up too much of my time for the relationship. If the other person is asking these questions, herself or himself, maybe it's a good time to sit on the table and to openly discuss these questions. So that is the topic of the day. The video is getting too long, and also just half an hour or like 1 hour ago, I made another very short video. It's called Look at the Results. Now, that's very important thing. The results are always there. Sometimes we are neglecting to see the results. Sometimes we go through life making our moves, making our relationships, making our businesses, jobs, hobbies and stuff, and then life goes by and there are no results. So it's very good on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or yearly basis to ask these questions. What are the results? Okay, if you are in a relationship, you should be like somewhat accountant, like the practical part of you should be asking these questions. Hey, I've been in this relationship for 3 months. Now, what are the results? What she gave me, what he gave me, respectively. What I'm giving up, what she giving up. Is there balance in our relationship, or I'm just throwing everything and I got nothing, or she is throwing everything or he is throwing everything and I got nothing. There's many good things to be gained by a good relationship, and many good things to be lost by good or bad relationship. So if you're a man, and if these are the topics that are if you're interested in this kind of topics, please subscribe to the channel, give thumbs up, help, like button, the algorithm, and also send it to a friend of yours. If he's confused, if he's not optimized, if he's not well balanced, synchronized, integrated in his or even her relationship, yeah, send this link to a friend. Help somebody.